Love my little beat, y'all. Hey, financial besties. Hey, financial besties. How you doing? How you been? Welcome back and happy Friday to you. Happy Friday, besties. How you feeling? How was your week? How was your week? Let me know how you're feeling by putting your money babies in the chat. Y'all know I like the money babies. Go and give them to me before I have to ask for them. Don't make me beg for them. If you're feeling good, let me see about 3 or more money babies. If you're feeling all right, let me see about 2 money babies. If you ain't feeling too well, still give me some money baby. Give me one. Give me at least one money baby. If you ain't feeling it tonight. I'm happy you're here though. If you ain't feeling it tonight, I'm very happy you're here. But if you're feeling good, give me 3 or more money babies. We'll have to chat with money babies. Y'all know I love to see them. Y'all know I love to see them. Trying to moisturize my situation real quick so y'all won't be talking about me. Y'all know how y'all do. Be trying to tussle in the comments, pointing out the ash when you're watching a black person on a video. Can't be ashy. We can't be ashy. Well, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? In this video, let's talk about something fun and important. Something fun and important. If you are anything like me, and I think most of you are, in that season where you're reevaluating life, y'all know where I am right now. You have options. Most of you are like me. You have options. You got a little change, right? You got that retirement account, if nothing else. You got that 401k, that Roth IRA. I know you do. But financial independence gives you the freedom to choose. That's what I love the most about financial independence. You're not limited. You have options. But if you are reevaluating life like I am, you're probably starting to think about what it would look like to live somewhere safe, warm, peaceful, and a lot less stressful than the United States. I know that's not saying much. But if that is what you are preparing for as you're reevaluating life, then this video is for you. I always see people travel to Southeast Asia. And the reason why I wanted to do this video is because I see a lot of people love Southeast Asia. And I also see a lot of people living in Southeast Asia long term. But they usually do it by doing what they call border runs every 30 to 60 days. So they will enter the country with their tourist visa and their passport. Most Southeast Asian countries allow you to stay at least 30 days. Some allow you to stay 60 days. Some allow you to stay 90 days with the extensions. And then when your tourist visa is up, they have to do border runs, meaning leave the country, go to another country, and then come back. Girl, I ain't about that life. I ain't about that life. So I wanted to do this video because I rarely see anyone talking about long-term visa options in Southeast Asia. So I had to do some homework. I had to do my homework and figure it out myself. And now that I've done my homework, I decided to do a video and share my findings with my friends. Share my findings with my financial besties. But yeah, I want to share what I found as I was doing my homework And I want to show you how I compared what I consider the best long-term visa options in Southeast Asia, specifically in Thailand, in Indonesia, and Malaysia. So we can see what's available for us to support our dream of living well and with ease. So we ain't doing border runs. What will it take for us to live there long term and just enjoying life without having to leave the country every 30 days? So, y'all ready? Y'all ready for this conversation? Y'all ready to get into it? The best visa options, long-term visa options in Southeast Asia. But if this is your first time seeing one of my videos, hey girl, hey, I am Malika. I am a recent breast cancer survivor. I'm also a stock market investor. I've been investing in the stock market for over 20 years, about 23 years now. And I'm a money coach. I teach women over 40 how to invest with ease. I do everything with ease and create passive income so you can live well, so you can decide wherever you want to go in the world, so you can have options that are available to you too. Because my investment portfolio gave me those options. My investment portfolio also prepared me to retire early at age 47. And now that I am fabulous 50, turned 50 years old just a couple of months ago, I have been reevaluating my life. So if you want the freedom to own your time and create a life that you love, subscribe to my channel and let's grow together. Let's do this thing together. So welcome, new friends. Welcome. Let me say hello to my OG besties. Say hello to my OG besties. Y'all put some money babies in the chat. Y'all put some money babies in the chat for me. Yes. I see the money babies. What's up, Venus Kirby? How you doing? How you been? I see the money babies. Yes. What's up, Tanya Brooks? I see the money babies. Let me see. Channel member, and Shalonda is in my sisterhood, the sister circle, the wealth building sisterhood. Hey girl, hey Shalonda. How you doing? How you been? Let's see, who else is with me? Who else is with me? Did I say hello to everyone? I don't see any more money babies. I see y'all in here, but I don't see no more money babies. If you don't give me no money babies, I ain't gonna say hey to you. I'll just play it. What's up, channel member? Hey, Miss Deborah. How you doing? How you been? I see. Girl, right? Check. Border run. Where? How long? Why? Check. The way my life is set up, I just can't be doing it. I just can't be doing it. I can't. And there's no shade to those who do. Let the young people do what they do. That season is behind me. I can't do it no more. 20 years ago, I probably would have considered it. But now at 50, no ma'am. No ma'am. So let's talk about these long-term visa options. If you are retired or if you're financially independent and work optional, there are several countries in Southeast Asia that will welcome you. And they all offer something unique. As I mentioned before, it's peaceful, it's safe. You ain't got to worry about nobody pew-pewing up churches and grocery stores and movie theaters. They have beautiful beaches. The weather is warm year-round. They have very, very kind people. Oh my goodness, I have never in my life met such genuinely kind people in my life until I went to Southeast Asia. Another perk or something unique to that region of the world is it's very affordable. It's very affordable. It has quality healthcare, very good quality healthcare. I had surgery in Southeast Asia, and my experience in the medical system there, there were some things that were on par with the United States, but there were many things that were a lot better. So I can vouch that there is quality healthcare and basically all the things that you would want in an ideal retirement life, right? In an ideal life, at least for me, when I think of designing the life I love, it's easy to find in Southeast Asia. So let me walk you through what I think are the best long term visa options. And I'm going to pull up my notes here to make sure I don't miss anything. But we are going to compare three long term visa options, one in Thailand, one in Indonesia, and one in Malaysia. The long term visa option that caught my eye in Thailand is the Thailand retirement visa. The long term visa option that caught my eye in Indonesia is the Indonesia second home visa. And the one that caught my eye in Malaysia is the Malaysia My Second Home program. I'll refer to that one as the MM2H. That's what it's commonly known as. I'm going to break it down and give you all some details about each one of them. And then as I go through the highlights of them, I did prepare like a PDF for you. I should have created a downloadable option so that you can have it, but I'll share it on the screen so you can take a quick screenshot of it if you want to. And if you want it in PDF version, you can send me an email and I'll respond to your email and give it to you. But first up is Thailand. Before we start, let me know in the comments, would you consider living in either of these three countries, Thailand, Indonesia, or Malaysia? Are you interested in living in any of these countries? I know some people are not because it's so far away from the United States, and that's okay. That's okay. It's not a constraint that I have, but these three countries stood out to me because I've been to all three several times, and I love it more and more each and every time. So let me know, are you considering or would you consider living in any of these three countries? Leave a comment and let me know. But first up is Thailand. The retirement visa in Thailand, there are two. One is called the OA and the other is called OX. The retirement visa in Thailand is ideal if you're over 50 and you're looking for a way to stay in Thailand long term. It's pretty much a straightforward option with some specific financial requirements, and I'll break those down for you in a minute. I personally think the big appeal for Thailand is the country is diverse. You can live in an area that has the mountains. You can live in the big city that gives a feel of, in my opinion, like New York City, or you can live on the beaches. Thailand has beautiful beaches, absolutely amazing food, and a low cost of living. And I think Thailand is like ideal for people that are early retirement, or work optional, where you still have a job, but you can work abroad, because it's a country that's rich in culture and at the same time is very modern. Thailand is very modern. And all of these countries in Southeast Asia are considered like third world countries. But it's so weird to me because the technology is way more advanced than what's here in the United States that's considered a first world country. So I don't know what defines a developed country, a developing country, or third world country, but child, based on my experiences in Thailand, it's better than the US. It's better than the US. But getting into the details of the long term visa option, the retirement visa, there's two of them, OA and OX. The OA visa, the length of stay is for 1 year. The OA visa is just 1 year. But the OX visa, the one I really like, is 5 years or 10 years, and both of them are renewable. The OX is 5 years or 10 years, and both are renewable. The length of stay required for the OA visa is, I don't want to say, the length of stay. Oh, the length of stay required for the OA visa, there is no length of stay required when you just get a 1 year visa. If you get the 5 year or 10 year OX visa, the length of stay required is a minimum of 90 days per year. So you do have to have some presence in Thailand every year in order to have this long-term visa option. And as I mentioned, the minimum age for the Thailand retirement visa is 50 years old. There are also financial requirements. The OA, because there's two visas, so I'll give you the financial requirements for both. The OA visa financial requirement, you must put $22,000, which is equivalent to about 800,000 Thai baht. You must put 22,000 in a Thai bank account or have a monthly income of $1,800 per month. That's equivalent to 65,000 Thai baht. So for the OA visa, you must have 22,000 deposited in a Thai bank account or a monthly income of $1,800 a month. For the OX visa, the 5 year or the 10 year, you must put 3 million Thai baht in a Thai bank account. That's 82,500. And these conversions are approximate depending on the exchange rate. So 82,500 in a Thai bank account or 49,500 in a Thai bank account and have an annual income of 33,000 for the year. Let me say that again. For the OX retirement visa, you have two options. Either put 82,500 in a Thai bank account, then it doesn't matter what your monthly income is, or put about half of that, 49,500 in a Thai bank account and have an annual income of 33,000 a year. So that's what I mean. If you are retired or if you're financially independent and work optional, these requirements are very easy to meet if you're over 50 years old, right? If you're over 50 years old, if you've been contributing to a 401k, a 403b, a Roth IRA, or you retired early because you've been doing non-retirement investing, you take this amount, you put it in a Thai bank account, 82,500. Doesn't matter what your monthly income is, or 49,500, and then have an annual income of $33,000. Right? So between your Social Security, your pension, your annuities, the combination of all those things together, as long as they equal 33,000 a year, and you can put 49,500 in a Thai bank account, you can stay in Thailand for 10 years, right? Is it renewable? Yes. So if you have the 5 year visa, every 5 years you can resubmit and renew it, or the 10 year visa, you can resubmit and renew it. Is there a path to permanent residencies? These are the criteria that I was looking for. I should have outlined those real quick. In fact, let me back up a little bit. What I was looking for each visa is the length of the visa, the length of the stay required, the minimum age, the financial requirements. Is it renewable? Is there a path to permanent residency or citizenship? And what is this visa most suitable for and the ease of the application process? So, is there a path to permanent residency for the Thai retirement visa? Yes. but you have to live in Thailand under this visa for 3 to 5 years. And there's some additional requirements you'll have to meet. But after you meet that residency requirement, then you could apply for permanent residency, right? A few things to note is you cannot work in Thailand under this visa, and you must provide proof of health insurance. In terms of suitability, I noted that this visa is most suitable for retirees with a stable income or substantial savings, and it does offer a path to permanent residency. So that is a good thing. The ease of application, I noted it as moderate, only because of the financial requirements that you have to meet, and you also have to provide proof of health insurance. But if you could easily meet the financial requirements and could easily get health insurance coverage, then it's relatively easy. But I noted it as moderate. All right. Let's see. Who would be interested in living in Thailand long term? Who would be interested in living in Thailand long term? Hey, hey, Miss Edith. Hey, hey, Miss Agami. Hey, hey, Miss Diane. I see y'all. Vena said she visited Thailand and she loved it. Awesome, awesome. Let's see. Miss Edith said yes. She considered living in any of the 3 countries. She's only visited Vietnam. She plans to return and want to specifically visit all 3. Thanks for discussing the long-term visa. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. Let's move on to Indonesia. Indonesia. Most people that visit Indonesia and love it and decide to stay, they usually stay on the island of Bali. The long-term visa option in Indonesia is the second home visa. If you go into Bali with just your passport, you'll get a tourist visa for 30 days, and it can be extended for another 30 days. But the second home visa is a long-term visa that allows you to stay in Bali for up to 10 years with the option to extend. This visa is perfect for anyone who wants the flexibility to live in the beautiful island of Bali. Bali also has some pretty nice beaches. The beaches in the popular areas where most of the tourists go, I don't think those beaches are very nice at all, but they do have beautiful beaches in the unspoiled areas. Bali also has a very, very strong expat community. They have a very, very large Black expat community. Financially, the requirements are manageable for someone with a solid investment portfolio, and I will go into detail of that right now. So the length of the visa is up to 10 years. The length of the stay is at least 60 days per year. So Bali, Indonesia also has a minimum annual stay requirement. The minimum age, there is no age requirement for a long-term visa in Indonesia. There are financial requirements, though. There are financial requirements. The requirements for the Indonesia long-term visa, the My Second Home visa, is 2 billion rupiah, and that's equivalent to about 130,000 USD, and you have to keep that in an Indonesia bank account, or you must own property in Bali. Actually, not Bali, own property in Indonesia, not necessarily Bali. And that property does have a minimum value, and I did not write that down, but you either have to put 130,000 in an Indonesia bank account or own property in Indonesia. Is it renewable? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. The My Second Home visa is renewable. Is there a path to permanent residency, or citizenship. This particular visa, the My Second Home visa, does not have a direct path to permanent residency. However, after accumulating 5 continuous years of living in Bali, you can apply for a quitus, and that quitus will grant you the right to stay in Bali permanently. So you can apply for permanent residency after living in Bali for 5 continuous years. So you can't get it under the My Second Home visa, but you can switch over to a permanent visa after 5 years. In terms of suitability, I noted that this visa is probably ideal for a more affluent individual because you have to have $130,000 in an Indonesian bank account, and you cannot use that money. That money must stay in an Indonesian bank account for the duration of your visa. So an affluent individual with significant financial means looking for long-term residency, you cannot work under this visa. So no employment options. And in terms of the ease of the application, I know that this one is relatively easy. As long as you have the money, it's relatively easy. I looked at the application. It pretty much straightforward. I would hire an agent to help, primarily because of the bureaucracy of being in another country, especially being in another country where English is not the primary language, although many people in Indonesia speak English, but the documentations dealing with the government, dealing with immigration, you will want to hire an agent or an attorney to help you with the visa application. But the Indonesia My Second Home visa, you can stay in Bali for up to 10 years, and it's renewable by depositing 130,000 in an Indonesian bank account or own property in Indonesia. It's renewable, and after 5 continuous years of living in Indonesia, you can switch to a different visa to apply for permanent residency. I like that one too. Would anyone consider living in Indonesia? Would anyone consider living in Indonesia? Tanya said she wouldn't mind staying in Thailand or Malaysia. We're going to cover Malaysia next. Awesome, awesome. Would anyone like to stay in Bali? I just looked at myself in the camera. Y'all, my hair, it is growing back like a completely different texture, and it changes almost like every day. Can you see? Can you see this now? Like just last week, it was like bone straight. Like it wouldn't do anything. And now it's starting to develop a little curl to it. Yeah, my hair is growing back, and it's growing back in its own little way. This is hair I don't recognize. I like it though, but I don't recognize it anymore. I'm not used to this texture. I just keep it clean, moisturize it, and go. So it's very simple, very easy to maintain. But it's new for me. Very new for me. I don't see an Indonesia getting any love. I saw lots of comments when I was talking about Bali. Several people interested in Thailand and Malaysia. No interest in Indonesia? Ah, okay. Edith said she would consider living in Bali, but that visa, the requirements for the visa, the deposit is too much for her. Okay, I can dig it. Tanya said she never thought about Bali. All right. All right. It's definitely a place that I would recommend you at least vacation at. Bali is stunning. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So if you ever get a chance to at least visit Bali for a vacation, I think you will love it. And I agree, Edith. Um, the visa requirement for the Bali long term visa is pretty steep. Okay, let's move on to Malaysia. The Malaysia long term visa is called Malaysia My Second Home Program. I see. Girl, those monkeys in Bali ain't no joke. Oh my goodness, ain't no joke. But let me focus. Let me focus. I'm gonna joke around with y'all when I finish going through the details of these visas, just in case anyone is watching a replay and just want the visa content. But anyway, Malaysia. Malaysia's long-term visa is called the Malaysia My Second Home Program, also referred to as MM2H. This is a visa that's also designed for, in my opinion, I think affluent retirees or affluent individuals that want to live in Malaysia long-term. Malaysia, I love it. Malaysia, to me, is very modern, very first world like, primarily because it reminds me so much of the United States in terms of like the infrastructure, in terms of the housing, the shopping, just the way of life. So it's very similar to Western countries. In fact, when I'm there, I feel like I'm at home, like in the DMV area, but there is a significantly lower cost of living. So imagine living in DC, Chicago, Atlanta, but paying half the cost. That's Malaysia for you. So I think Malaysia is great for someone that's looking for that balance of modern living, but want the peacefulness of Asian culture. The best perk for a long term visa in Malaysia is that Malaysia is a tax haven. That's the biggest perk for investors and business owners. Malaysia is a tax haven. And we'll get into that more in a bit. So, the length of the visa, there are three. Malaysia's visa was a little more complicated to understand because it's been changing a lot. I mean, a lot over the past year or two. But the most recent change, and even this is subject to change. In fact, all of these visas are subject to change. The governments change them whenever they want to attract more tourists or more residents, and they change them when they want to limit the number of people applying for residency. But Malaysia, about 3 years ago, was a lot easier to get long-term residency. When they start making these changes, they increased the requirements and made it a little more restricting. But I still like this one. There are two in Malaysia, but this My Second Home one is still attractive to me. The length of stay for the Malaysia My Second Home visa, there are three tiers. There's a silver tier, a gold tier, and a platinum tier. So the length of stay based on the tiers is 10 years, 15 years, and 20 years, depending on the tier that you apply for. They're multi-entry visas, so you can leave and come back as many times as you want, but there is a minimum stay of at least 90 days in the country every year. There is a minimum of at least 90 days in the country every year. There's also a minimum age for the silver tier. You have to be at least 21 years old. And for the gold or platinum tier, you have to be at least 25 years old. For the financial requirements, this is just for the silver tier, but just imagine the amounts are higher and higher each tier you go up. But for the silver tier, actually, no, I wrote down all three of them. I did. I wrote down all three. Yeah, because I wasn't sure which one I was interested in. But there is a fixed deposit requirement, and there's also a property requirement. If you want to stay long term in Malaysia, you do have to buy property. They want to attract foreigners that really, really want to be in their country and want to contribute to their economy. So the fixed deposit requirement in a Malaysian bank account for the silver tier, you have to deposit $150,000. For the gold tier, you have to deposit $500,000. And for the platinum tier, you have to deposit $1 million. Now, these deposits can be used. I'll share that a little later. So unlike the Indonesia one, in Malaysia, the deposits can be used. The property retirement, within 1 year of getting the visa, you must buy property. For the silver tier, you must buy property that's equivalent to at least $140,000. The requirements are actually in rupiah, but I'm just giving you the equivalent in USD. So for the silver tier, your property must be at least 140,000. For the gold tier, 230,000, and for the platinum tier, 460,000. And you must hold the property for a minimum of 10 years. Selling is only permitted if you're upgrading to a more expensive property. So there are two financial requirements for the Malaysia My Second Home program. A fixed deposit of at least 150,000 and buying property of at least 140,000 that you must hold for at least 10 years. The visa is renewable. So whether you get the 10, 15, or 20 year, it is renewable. Is there a path to permanent residency? Yes. For the platinum, it's a 20-year visa, and you can pretty much automatically apply for permanent residency. For the silver and the gold, for the My Second Home visa, there is no direct path under this visa. However, when the visa expires, you can apply for the permanent residency visa, but it does require a more substantial investment. Some additional things I noted about the MM2H visa is you cannot work under this visa unless you apply for a separate permit, which you can do if you want to work. If you apply for that separate permit, you can work in the country. You can work from an employer that's in another country, or you can own your own company within Malaysia, but you must get that separate work permit. You must have medical insurance, but it is waivable if you can demonstrate that you have the financial means to be able to pay out of pocket. And the best perk of the Malaysia visa is that Malaysia is a tax haven. If income is earned outside of the country, no matter the amount, it is not taxed. Income that is earned offshore, meaning outside of Malaysia, it is not taxed. I like that a lot. There's some talk about that criteria being changed in the next iteration of this visa. But for right now, that's what it is. No tax on foreign earned income. In terms of suitability, I think this visa is designed the way it's been revised now. It's for more affluent individuals or investors or business owners that are seeking the long-term residency in Malaysia. And the recent changes continue to revise the financial requirements. So those numbers are always changing. The numbers I shared are what they are today. They're subject to change next week. In terms of the ease of application, I noted it as moderate because it is document heavy and the rules are evolving. So you would definitely need to hire an agent or an attorney in Malaysia to help you with the immigration paperwork. Another thing I noted about Malaysia is they do have a second visa that will basically lead directly to permanent residency. It's called the Premium Visa Program, PVIP, Premium Visa Investment Program. Maybe the I is investment program. But this is a 20-year multi-entry visa. It has no age restriction. It is renewable when it expires, and you don't have to get a separate work permit. So you can work or run a business under this visa. There's also no stay requirement. Under the MM2H, you do have to stay in Malaysia for at least 90 days a year. This one, the premium visa program, is no stay requirement, but you have to show two things in terms of financial requirements. You have to show proof of monthly income of that's equivalent to $8,500 a month, and you have to deposit $212,000, which is equivalent to about a million ringgit. So $212,000 have to be deposited into a Malaysian bank account. And in Malaysia, after a year, you can withdraw up to half of it. So $106,000 or 500,000 ringgit for expenses related to buying your house, educating your children, medical expenses, home expenses, and things like that. So unlike the Indonesia one, the money has to be deposited into an Indonesia bank account, and it just sits for the duration of your visa. The money that you put into the Malaysian bank account in order to qualify for the Malaysian long-term visa, after 1 year, you can withdraw up to half of it for certain expenses. I thought that was very, very interesting, and it made that visa more attractive to me. In addition to it being a tax haven, I just love the quality of healthcare in Malaysia. Even without insurance, if you can meet these financial requirements, if you have the means to meet these financial requirements, paying out of pocket for health insurance is relatively affordable. For my surgery in Malaysia, a 5-day stay in the hospital, and all of the doctor's visits, the follow-ups, the scans, the MRIs, the PET scans, the ultrasounds, the mammograms, all the things. I came out of pocket. I don't remember the number exactly, but it was under $20,000. It was under $20,000, including what I paid for housing to stay during all of that and the recovery. I stayed in Malaysia for another 6 to 7 weeks after my surgery before I came back to the United States. And all of that combined, I paid less than $20,000. So the quality of the healthcare is exceptional, and it's also very affordable. So there you go. Long-term visa options in Thailand is the Thailand retirement visa. In Indonesia is the Indonesia second home visa. And in Malaysia is the Malaysia My Second Home program. Would anyone be interested in living in Malaysia? I'll share this comparison PDF on the screen in just a second of those 3 visas. But let me know in the comments if you would be interested in living in Malaysia. Let's see. Can you all see that? It looks very small to me. Let me know if you could see this on the screen. This is a long-term visa comparison of the Thailand retirement visa, the Indonesia second home, and the Malaysia My Second Home program. So I listed the length of the visa, the length of stay per year, the minimum age, the financial requirements. Take a screenshot of that if you're interested, or you can send me an email and I'll send you this PDF. And on the second page, I have whether it requires property, health insurance, if the health insurance is required, if it's renewable, if work is allowed, the ease of application, and who this visa may be best for. I hope it's showing up big enough on the screen. Let me know if it does not. But yes, these long-term visas are suitable if you have financial means. When you have financial means, you have options. So if you've been investing, even investing in your 401k, your 403b, your Roth IRA, any type of investments, if you meet the age requirement for a lot of these visas, you most likely have more than the minimum amount required to apply for the visa. But each of these visas, they carry they cater to different needs and financial abilities. I think Thailand has the lowest financial requirement. I think Malaysia has the highest financial requirement, but the most flexible. So whether you're dreaming of living in Thailand, living by the beach, living in Bangkok, living in the mountainous areas in Chiang Mai, or if you're dreaming of living in Indonesia, a place like Bali, where it has just the lush landscape. Oh my goodness, when I think of the rice fields in Bali, just so beautiful. Or even the Western conveniences in Malaysia. I think these long-term visa options will give you the freedom to create the lifestyle that you desire. So, of those three, let me know in the comments which country and which visa would you consider? And if neither one, let me know that too. If neither one, let me know that too. Hey, Miss Faithful Jones. Yes, I have had a wonderful day. I've had a wonderful week, actually. Ah, Miss Edith said she's going to spend at least 3 weeks in Bali because I speak so highly of it. When? When are you going to Bali? When are you going? Deborah said her sister's hair grew back red, dark red after chemo. The texture changed too. Yeah. When it first started growing back, it was completely white, like white, everywhere. It's starting to come, like the little color is starting to come back in different patches. My hair was not this white before. It was not this way. I had like a patch, like this patch of gray here I had in my locks. I don't know if y'all remember that, but this gray all over here, I didn't have. Actually, it's not even gray. It's white. Like it's white. It's so interesting to me. And the texture, yeah, is completely different. It's very soft, like extremely soft. And it was bone straight last week. And now it's starting to develop a little curl on the end. So I can't even get it to lay down. I put my little do-rag on it one night and I woke up the next morning and it wasn't laying down at all. So, child, I stopped wearing that thing. But yeah, my hair texture has completely changed. It's very interesting to watch from day to day. What do you like about Bali? Miss Deborah. I have several videos on my channel about Bali where I answer this question in great detail. I'll link to them in the description, but one is called The Pros and Cons of Bali, and the other one is called Could I Live Here? And what I like the most about Bali is the people. Is the people. The people in Bali, it's something that I I cannot describe in a way that would make sense. So most people wouldn't understand it until they go. It's like the people in Bali are so genuinely, incredibly kind. And being in their environment and interacting with them and observing them, it's like their kindness was rubbing off on me. And a lot of my learned behaviors, I was starting to shed them. Here in the United States, there is this veil of defensiveness that you have to walk around with in order to survive, in order to function, right? As a Black person, as a Black woman, and just as a woman, it's like there's a certain defensiveness that you just walk around with, and your body is just tense because you're expecting certain things, or you're expecting to have to defend yourself, or you're expecting someone to talk to you sideways. It's like it's this veil that we walk around with that we don't even realize we're wearing. And in Bali, the longer I was there, the more they were chipping at that veil. And I literally felt my shoulders relax. And I felt myself taking off the defensive armor that we have to walk around wearing here in the United States. I had so many interactions. Now they're funny, but I had so many interactions where I would get defensive, but I later learned that's just their culture and it's just a reflection of how kind they are. Like, for example, when I first arrived, I was staying in this hotel and the concierge at the hotel, he would see me coming and going every day. And about the second or third day, he learned my name and remembered my name. And when he would see me leaving in the morning, he would like track me down. And like if I'm walking too fast or he missed me, he would catch up to me just to ask where I was going. And here in the United States, a stranger asking you where you're going is not a good thing. And I remember being like, why you want to know? And when I would come back in the evening, he would greet me again. He would be so excited to see me. And he would ask, where have I been? To send a message to the WhatsApp group. I was like, yo, I'm staying in blah, blah, blah hotel. Why this dude keep asking me where I'm going and where I've been? Like, and they just laughed and laughed at me. And they was like, Malika, welcome to Bali. What I have later learned is that when you're in Bali, they have such a community culture, a community oriented culture. They look out for each other. And by me staying in that hotel or staying in a guest house or staying on a compound, they take responsibility for you and they feel like they have to take care of you. So his inquiries were more about care and concern and love versus being nosy or having some ill intent. And it's like I had to learn how to keep my common sense, but turn off my American defensiveness because in Bali, it wasn't necessary. It just wasn't necessary. And that was just one example. I had many, many examples that just taught me the learned experiences that I have were based on survival, were based on living in an environment that makes me unsafe, that dysregulates my nervous system. And being in an environment that regulates my nervous system, that makes me feel safe, that makes it unnecessary to carry this armor, it was so foreign to me. I didn't know how to exist in that world. And over time, I learned how to do it, and it felt so good. It felt so good. And as I talked to more expats and got to know more people that live there, not just the people that are, floating through and tourists or, people that do border hops every couple of months and then go off to other countries, people that actually live there. I got to know locals. In fact, there's one young lady that I call my Bali sister because she calls me her American sister. In the video, Could I Live Here? She's in that video. Um, and I met other expats that actually live there and have lived there long term. And I realized that it wasn't just me. The experiences I were having and the aha moments I was noticing, it wasn't unique to me. All of them, at some point in their journey, had experienced it too. And we just got together one day and we went over to one of the expats' house that lived there, her villa. And we just kicked back and she made us some tea, this funky tea that was unique to Bali. And we just kicked back one day and all afternoon we just talked about our experiences and how they're so different from the United States and how the environment is so peaceful and the people are so kind and it just promotes healing. It just made me say, I love it here. And I remember in that video I shared, I think it was my last day in Bali or my last week, and I actually cried. It's funny now that I think back on it, but I remember that video. It's let me see if I can find it. I actually cried in the video and I had never ever visited anywhere in the world and I cried when it was time to leave. It's because of how the people made me feel. Let me see if I can find the Bali video. Let's see. But any other questions about any of these countries or the research I did on the visas, feel free to ask. I'm going to look at the comments in just a second. I'm trying to find the Bali videos. Yeah, I'll put them in the live chat in the video description. This one was, found them. This one is 5 things to know before you go to Bali. I'll put that one in the chat first. Okay. And this one was Life in Bali from Cost of Living to Culture. Helpful insider tips from a local Balinese. This is my Bali sister, Desi. I love her. I love her so much. We've stayed in touch since the last time I've been in Bali. I had a family member visit Bali, and my Bali sis took care of them. She picked them up from the airport. She made sure they got a real good local experience in Bali, in addition to all the touristy things. So she shows me love and she showed my family love too. And I wasn't even there. And I wasn't even there. But yeah, there's so many things I like about Bali, but if I had to name just one, that one thing at the top, it's the people. It's the people. He said, I dream of living my retirement years out in a place like that. I just don't see a reality. Why don't you see a reality, Hughes? Tell me more. Why don't you see a reality? Malaysia sounds wonderful too. Yeah, Malaysia is wonderful. It's like so hard. It's so hard to compare the three because they're all wonderful countries in their own unique way. So, Brenda, you would live in Thailand. Okay. Why would you live in Thailand, Brenda? What is it about Thailand that you like? Venus said all of them sound amazing. Tanya said Thailand for me. Okay. What is it about Thailand that you like, Tanya? Yes, Miss Deborah, it's the humanity. It's the humanity. Yeah. So I'm trying to decide which three to visit when I retire at the end of the year. Not sure about the visas yet. Visit all three. Visit all three. Indonesia will give you 30 days on your tourist visa, and the 30 days can be extended another 30 days. Thailand, their tourist visa was recently changed from 30 to 60 days. So you might get 60 days as soon as you enter the country, and that can be extended another 30 days, so a total of 90. And then Malaysia, with just your passport, you will automatically get 90 days in Malaysia. So yeah, visit all three. Visit all three. And as I mentioned earlier, most people, when they live in any of these countries, they just do border hops. Um, it's just not the phase of life I'm in right now. If I were to live in any of these countries, I would apply for a long-term visa. Hugh said, I'm interested in Thailand, but I learned the bugs are everywhere. I am terrified of spiders and crawlers. Yeah, in all three of these countries I just mentioned, there are bugs. There are bugs here in the United States. Um, but yeah, there are spiders and crawlers. But just like here in the United States, there are things that you can buy to repel them, right? There's also natural remedies. But just about anywhere you go that has a tropical climate, that is usually the type of climate that's desirable in retirement, you're going to have some bugs. Anywhere is hot and wet, you're going to coexist with some bugs, unfortunately. But I want to keep it real with you. I want to keep it real with you. Oh, you're welcome, Miss Deborah. You're so very welcome. Tanya said Thailand because the requirements is right for me. Okay, okay. I can dig it. I can dig it. The Thailand long-term visa requirement was a Thailand retirement visa, the OA. You just need 22,000 in a Thai bank account or 1,800 in monthly income. And the OX that gives you up to 10 years, you need 82,500 in a Thai bank account or 49,500 in a bank account and 33,000 a year income. 33,000 a year in income with about 50,000 in a Thai bank account. So yeah, I understand why you would like that one, Miss Tanya. Let's see. Miss Greta likes Thailand too. I'm just able to comment. I saw your list, and Thailand seems more doable for the financial requirements. I'm concerned about the air pollution. However, I can get air purifiers. Yes, that is a major concern that I've heard from several people. I'll be honest. I've heard that complaint from people in Indonesia and Malaysia. But I didn't experience any air quality issues. I know in Thailand, In the north, like in the Chiang Mai area, they have burning season. Burning season starts in January ish and ends around April ish. So air quality for an American could be absolutely unbearable in Chiang Mai. But I know a lot of people in Thailand, if they live in Chiang Mai, they'll go south during burning season, or some people just choose to live in the southern part of Thailand to avoid the burning season in the north. Um, I love Thailand, and my favorite place in Thailand is Chiang Mai. I would not want to have to leave my home every year during burning season. So if I lived anywhere, because I love Chiang Mai the most, it would either be Chiang Mai or like Pattaya or Phuket. But because I couldn't live in Chiang Mai year round, I personally wouldn't want to live in Thailand long term because I wouldn't want to leave my home every year for months at a time. But there are other areas in Thailand that foreigners like to live in that are not affected by the air quality coming from the north. They say they don't get um, the burning in the southern part of Thailand. I have heard air pollution in Indonesia, especially in Bali, because of so many people and it's so much traffic. Oh my God, there's so much traffic in Bali. In that video that I linked, the pros and cons of Bali, those cons are real cons. Woo! So much traffic in Bali. And they ride bikes, mopeds everywhere. Almost everyone in Bali has a moped. So because there's so much traffic, so many cars, so many mopeds, you can imagine what the air quality is like. All of that gas, all of that stuff in the air from all the traffic. I remember when I first went to Bali, I said, I have never been anywhere in the world where I can get to my destination faster by walking. That traffic in Bali is especially in the main touristy areas or the main areas where most expats, foreigners, immigrants tend to gravitate to. The traffic is ridiculous and it moves at a snail's pace. So when you on those bikes, on those mopeds, they be all on the sidewalk, going around the cars, and it's insane. So yes, there is air pollution in Indonesia as well. I have heard some people complain about it so much where they say it affects their eyes, makes their eyes water, makes their eyes burn. I personally did not experience that, but I do believe there's a lot of air pollution because there's so much traffic. Um, so the reason for the air pollution in Indonesia is slightly different than the reason in Thailand because they do have burning season in Thailand. In Malaysia, I have also heard people complain about the air quality in Malaysia. Actually, one of my online friends that live in Bali, she does not like Malaysia for that very reason. She said the air quality was horrible for her. It it made it made her eyes burn. I didn't experience that at all when I was in Malaysia. I don't know if this is true, but there are rumors that say the people that complain about the air quality in Malaysia, it's because they spray something in the air, and the people that have sensitivity to whatever that is, they're reacting to whatever it is that they spray. Um, I don't know if that's true or not, but I will say whatever they're spraying in the air, it works because the whole time I was in Malaysia, I didn't get not one mosquito bite. I didn't see any bugs in my apartment. I I didn't see much of anything in terms of like critters and the things that would make you go, when you're in Bali. I didn't see much of any of that in Malaysia. So Malaysia sprays something that might get rid of it. But the flip side of that is a lot of air pollution and it causes eye irritations and things like that. Although I didn't experience it, I do believe other people that complain about it that have experienced it. But you're right. Air purifier in your home, in your apartment, in your villa would help with that. But it sucks for people that are really sensitive to it and their eyes burn or water every single day because of whatever is in the air. Um, I'm very grateful that I didn't have any reactions to either country, the air quality in either country. But yeah, good point, Miss Greta. Good point. Um, awesome, Tanya. You plan to have a Southeast Asia experience for her 50th next year. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so you were able to see the long-term comparison. Good, good, good. I'd be interested in Bangkok. Okay. So they take into account your investment. Yes. Yes. Um, your investments and pension fund. I'm not sure about your pension funds because you don't really have a balance in your pension funds, but your pension payments would count towards your monthly income that you could demonstrate. So I think it was the Bali or Malaysia that they lowered hold on. One of them lowered lowered the deposit requirement if you could demonstrate it was Thailand. So Thailand's deposit requirement is 82,500, but it's lowered to 49,500 if you can demonstrate 33,000 in annual income. Yeah. And the Malaysian one had the financial requirement, but you must buy property. So I think it was the Thailand one. Yeah, the Indonesian one was just a straight deposit. But yeah, the Thailand one, both of the Thailand ones consider your monthly income as well. The Thailand OA retirement visa, 22,000 in the bank, in a Thai bank, with a monthly income of 1,800. So if you were to receive Social Security and a pension, as long as both of them combined meet or exceed the 1,800 limit, and you put 22,000 in a Thai bank account, you would qualify for the OA visa. The OX visa would require a 49,500 deposit in a Thai bank account with 33,000 per year income. So your pension and your Social Security would count towards the income, and then you would just have to make a deposit in a Thai bank account. For the other visas, the Malaysia visa, you can use your investments for that to show proof of meeting the financial requirements, but you still have to make a deposit in a Malaysian bank account. Those deposits, again, for the silver, gold, and platinum are 150,000, 500,000, and 1 million, depending on the tier that you apply for. And each tier has better perks and benefits. So yeah, it reminds me a lot of the Malaysian visa. Reminds me a lot of the golden visa that was really popular in Portugal, and it also reminds me a lot of the visa that the United States now, the new one that 47 created to attract wealthy foreigners. Kind of reminds me of that one too. Except the one in the United States is a lot more. I think the one in the United States, the minimum, like you have to demonstrate $5 million, whereas the Malaysia, the platinum, even the top one is only 1 million. Let's see. So yes, answer to your question, Edith, yes. Yes. I like to go to Bali in 2026 and other countries. Awesome. Awesome. I definitely think Bali is such a unique place to be. Even if you don't live there, it is still a destination that I would recommend to everyone to experience at least once in their life, because it's such a beautiful Such a beautiful country. It's so much to do, so much to see. The food is good. The people are amazing. Y'all watch the videos that are on my channel on Bali. The one that I linked called The Pros and Cons of Bali, and the other one that I linked called Could I Live Here? A local helpful insider tips from a local. So watch both of those videos and you'll see. You'll see why I love Bali so much. But anyway, if this video was helpful and it allowed you to see what's possible in terms of long-term visas in Southeast Asia so you can live your best life, don't hit that like button. Hit that like button for me. If you're in this live stream and you're still hanging in there with me, hit that like button for me. And share it with other women who want to design a life that they love abroad. If any of you are ready to take the next step and learn how to create passive income so you can meet these visa requirements, so you don't have to do border runs, so you don't have to limit yourselves to a country that you really don't want to be in, and you exclude yourself from a country that you really want to be in, but you don't meet the requirements, you can still prepare yourselves now so you can meet the requirements in the future. So if you want to take that next step and learn how to create that passive income, I invite you to join me in my wealth building sisterhood, the Invest with Ease program. Let me drop a link for that if anyone is interested. The only reason why I am able to meet the requirements of all three countries without any limitations or constraints is because of what my investment portfolio has allowed me to do. There's nothing unique about me. There's nothing special about me. You can do the same thing too, with knowledge and strategy. Do not count yourself out or think something is not for you because you don't have the financial means. If you have a 401k, if you have a Roth IRA and you have been investing at all, you can grow that portfolio. You can create the passive income in order to meet the monthly income requirements. You can grow that portfolio in order to meet the financial means requirements. Don't count yourself out without even exploring your options and trying. I always say money is a tool. Financial freedom gives you options. I like having the option to choose. And with that said, of the three that we have talked about tonight, which country and visa do you think I am most interested in? Let me know in the comments. I'm interested in seeing what you all say. I am interested in seeing what you all say. Of the three that we have talked about tonight, the Thailand retirement visa, the Indonesia My Second Home visa, and the Malaysia My Second Home program. Which country and visa do you think I will choose? Miss Venus said Malaysia. Deborah said Malaysia. Igami said Malaysia. Greta said Malaysia. Tanya said Malaysia. Brenda said Bali. Any others? Any others? Of the three that we have talked about, which country and visa do you think I would choose? Look at Miss Deborah. No taxes. Listen, that's a major perk. It's a major perk when you got money flowing and you don't want to pay no taxes. It's certainly a major perk. Any other? Any other guesses? Any other guesses? Let me see. I'll give y'all a minute to respond. Any other guesses? Of the three, Thailand, Indonesia, or Malaysia? Which country do you think I will choose? If I could live in Thailand, my favorite city is Chiang Mai. If I could live in Indonesia, my favorite region and island would be Bali, the Ubud area. Although I do also like the Paranan area in Canggu, but it's to the far west, like the quiet part. It's not in the Seminyak, Kuta crazy area where all the young kids are with all the bars and stuff. But I love the spirituality in Ubud. And in Malaysia, I love Kuala Lumpur. Of the three, which one do you think I would choose to live in? Miss Gail said Bali. Well, friends, I'm going to call y'all back later and tell you in the next video. Thank you for rocking with me, besties. Until next time, bye for now.